to me now from anyone using it with or without my permission. Hello, hello. Can you all hear me? Happy Sunday. Hello, beautiful humans. How y'all doing? Well, shit. How y'all doing? Hey, Lil John. Hi, James and Juan and Adva and Will and Shauna and Lee. How is everyone? Maricela. Hi, Michael. So, as much as I just romper-roomed in the beginning of this, if you are new, if you're watching this in replay, welcome to the weekend Astro-Tarot Hangout. When you can join, even if you can only join for a few minutes, the community is fantastic. Hello, Annika. Hello. I don't know what that was. So we're going to do Aries through Jupiter. I already did a whole special on the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. My eyes are tearing from that. The flame. I already did a whole special on that. And I will do something for the full moon in Scorpio. The full moon in Scorpio is doesn't have 20 different things going on like all the rest of the astrological events have lately. Give me 1 second, everybody. I'm going to turn down this light because it is very, very bright. And it's really about the cards. And this way I don't have to blind myself. We could just do it like that. That's kind of spooky. Now let's see if I can get it to sit back without any issue. I had to fuck with it. I had to. All right, everybody hold on. You're going for a ride. Where's my coffee? Ta-da! There we go. I don't need the lights that bright. Ooh. Welcome back. So if you're here and you're already like, what? Who is this chaos of a person? Hi, I'm Suzzy. I'm a trauma-informed astrologer and metaphysical practitioner. And today we're just going to look into the energies, like the updates of this week. There's so much going on. So I'm going to try to be really specific. And I'm going to take into account, obviously, everything that's going on in the sky. I was saying I will do a full moon special for sure. Maybe tomorrow night. It'll be let's see if it's recorded or not. It's so much easier to go live. I know YouTube and the ratings and don't normally favor that. The recorded videos do far, far better. But I may go live. We'll see how the day brings us. But the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is... You woke up to it, depending on where you live. You woke up to it. So keep your eye out for those new opportunities right now. Keep your eye out for the new opportunities. And let's start looking into the area. I'm going to pull a card for like what your guides want you to know. I'm going to pull a card for money. I'm going to pull a card for love. I'm going to pull a card for spiritual growth. That's what I feel like I should be doing this week. So that's what I'm going to do. I got my mom's cup. This is probably, there's my lipstick. This is probably from around 1979. This cup. Not as old as me, but it's close. It's actually tea. And I try to do everything natural. I'm making everything at home. Everything from scratch. Loving it. Very interesting results. My inflammation has gone down. Even my weight has gone down. Eating lots of bread, but it's bread that I made, not bread with a bunch of preservatives and stuff. So, I mean, that's not groundbreakingly shocking, but like, honestly, like to the point that like I'm not doing anything different, and I'm finally, because I don't eat a lot. So it's been weird that I can't shed anything. Anyway, but I am a big, feel free to send me a message. I'm a huge fan of the Jordan skinny syrups, and now they have a chai. So I just go, it's shortcutting my life in a way that I need it. I do make homemade chai, like old school homemade chai, and it's really good, but it's very time consuming. So as my shirt says, 5 more minutes, please. That was that kind of morning today. So it's just tea with chai sweetener. It's so good. So let's start with Aries. I'm going to use the Tarot of the 78 Doors. I'm not going to talk much about the astrology of the day because I make little videos here on TikTok. I throw them up on Facebook. The only place I cannot put them because they're too long is Instagram. So if you're following me for Instagram, that's like more empowerment. And sometimes I'll put up polls there, but, and everything's the same handle, Suzzy with 2 Z's and the Y, evolutionary. It's the same everywhere. Okay, we have the Queen of Pentacles. But I will talk about the astrology update. We can talk about what's in your sign right now. Aries, obviously, you've got Venus and Chiron. The sun has left. We are officially happy Taurus season. Happy hug and a cupcake season. Hi, blissful knowing. So we're in Taurus season, and so we have the Sun, Jupiter, and Uranus in Taurus. But we still have Chiron and Venus and the North Node in Aries, and Mercury, of course, in retrograde. Yo, how about my whole software just disappearing? Like I can find it. Sorry, Aries, I'm interrupting your reading. I can find it. I can even go into like the local C disk files and find it. It won't open. You click it and then you wait like a kid on Christmas. It won't open. I've shut everything down. I've done all the things. Please don't advise me to like start everything like I'm fairly technically proficient. It's just gone. It's fun. This Mercury retrograde has been wacko. Okay. So the first card, we've got the Queen of... No, we've got the Queen of Cups. Sometimes these cards, this is the chalices. We've got the Queen of Cups. This is the card for love right now. You know, Aries, with Venus running through your sign, the Queen of Cups makes perfect sense. Aries is creme brulee. I can attest as an Aries moon. Once Aries goes through their, once they go through their learning period, their journey with the short fuse, with the impatience, and sometimes I'm still impatient, but oh my God, am I a different person. I've always loved to cook, and when I was younger, this is embarrassing, I'm gonna share this, but when I'm talking about like before the age of 16, if I would like try to make a cake or something and it wouldn't come out right, it was going up against the wall. I never did it to people. I never was like but like things got thrown, punches through. I put a couple of holes in a couple of walls. Not good. not good. But once an Aries moon goes through their stage of learning, like once they screw themselves over in life enough to figure out how to do things without impatience or any kind of like short fuse, and also how to love with some chill. I will die on the hill all the time that I say Aries could learn from their Scorpion friend, their other Mars-ruled friend there in the zodiac from Scorpio, how to vet people. A couple of signs could use that. But Aries could, you know, chill. Once we learn the chill, it's actually really hard to get a reaction out of us because it's something we had to work hard on. So it's a skill set. It becomes like breathing. But also that creme brulee means when we love hard, right? So if you have Aries placements, first house placements, maybe even if you're like Mars run chart, holy cow. The Queen of Cups makes total sense. You have the North Node going through right now. And you may be thinking of situations with people that you want to repair, that you want to nurture. It's a cardinal sign, but it's warmth. And the thing about Aries is it's the wildfire. So like it will pursue you. It will, if it really loves you, if a person with an Aries placement really, they will put the work in. Unapologetically, they will put the work in. So this Queen of Cups just means you either have somebody coming in that's going to return the kind of adoration and fervent effort that you put in as an Aries. And, you know, I mean, we got people in this house with Aries Moon, Aries Mercury, just in my home. Aries Venus and Aries Mars. We never fight. We can have a disagreement. But like even yelling. Not going to say it never happens, but like I could count how many times a year. So Aries energy isn't this crazy yelling temper, you know, it's not all Yosemite Sam. And when it loves really hard because it's brave. It will be the first one to say, I love you. So you are either getting the energy you put out with this Queen of Cups here, and it's really nurturing. It's mature and nurturing, or you are ready to go do that. You are ready. There's, you know, it's easier to go walk and stop traffic to go help a small animal or help somebody in a time of crisis than it is to be brave and vulnerable about our emotions often. This is a sign for you to be brave and vulnerable and also to let it in. I just did the Aries reading for April and this kind of came up, and I said I just had put out a post that said, you know, life isn't just about how you love, but how you let love in. And have you had lived experiences enough that you are tentative on letting love in now because it either A, hurts you, or you're afraid that you're just not ready and you'll hurt it? Will the love end up hurting you, or will you end up hurting this love? And so we can keep a barrier out. The barriers are down now for Aries first house placements. I love that for you. Let's pull for money. Let's pull for money. I want you guys today. Emily is not a fan of the teal, right? So I asked her to put my lights on. She left the bottom one purple. I'm like, okay, that kind of looks cool. I can make those 1, 2, 3. I can make them any color I want. I really would like to highlight Teresa's incredible artwork better. By the way, the fire sign readings. Air will be out tomorrow or Tuesday. But you guys tell me in the comments if there's a better color. These are kind of too pink, but that's all I have. Let's get a card from money for Aries. Lee, you don't have to timestamp each subject, just as long as you timestamp like Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Okay. The High Priestess. So the High Priestess is the female embodiment of the magician, or the magician maybe is the male embodiment of the High Priestess. I put one of the promos to this show with that, like, funny that the first person to sin was a woman who ate. She ate, left no crumbs on the plate. Mother ate. That's what this is. That's what this is. This is, you kind of got, again, this isn't, I mean, it's Aries reading, and it's like there's so much energy still in your sign, but this is all about like going in. So if I get the High Priestess as a money sign, you know, I encourage people to, like, you know, put a needle on a string, put anything on a string and use it as a pendulum. You don't have to go out and buy a pendulum. And ask, like, should I apply for this one? Should I, like, you can be specific, but there is, the High Priestess makes everything happen. She uses it's genderless. They use a combination of the smarts, the courage, the ability, the skill set, the charm. Aries is usually charming. And that Mars energy, that go get it, but also the intuition. So there's a combination here. And yeah. Like, if you're interviewing for a job, I keep getting, like, you know that video that's going around, like, say the weird thing. Trust yourself in the interview to add something you didn't plan on adding, but this is also about using your intuitive discernment to not waste your time pursuing a job that is not right for you or has too many applicants or whatever. You also, if you're sitting and listening and hearing my voice, you also could have gifts that you could use also to make money one way or the other. There's lots of ways to do that. I mean, I personally, you heard it here first, folks. I'm probably not the only person saying this. I don't believe in working out of ego and saying, no one else is saying this. No one else is talking about this, because that's a very ego-based statement, just saying. But so I'm sure other people are saying it, but I fully believe that, like, in 20 years, we'll have, like, astrologers and intuitive people, like, in HR. As many big companies as there'll be left. Let's just say that. But it'll just be common practice to, like, look at somebody's astrology to see if they're a good communication fit. Or, like, maybe they're not a good fit for this department, but they're a good fit for that department. I promise you, 20 years you'll start seeing that, like, be far more common. Here goes my phone. Sorry, kids, let me just turn off. Okay. If you're my child that doesn't live here, you're not watching this for me to tell you call your sister instead of me, because my phone is not on silent. card as advice from your guides. Seven of Swords came out in reverse. Mars runs signs, right? I just talked before about when Aries gets to a point where they don't lash, they have, as our beautiful community member Doretha says, has a response and not a reaction. That you're not going to get them back into that Yosemite Sam energy. With the Seven of Swords here as the spiritual or the advice from the guides right now, there may be attempting, especially with Mercury in retrograde and the North Node in your sign, and the way that Mars is sextiling Jupiter and Uranus, there could be an opportunity to go low when they go low. With all ammunition, with all, like, you still wouldn't be wrong. You might be defending yourself, which is a very Aries thing to do, because Aries often have childhoods where people don't defend them when they should be defended, like an adult defending a child from another adult kind of situation. And so defending yourself, advocating for yourself becomes, part of the journey. With the Seven of Swords in reverse, they're telling you to resist the temptation. A lot of times, as, Taylor Swift says, it's an old saying, but, the trash will take itself out. That seems to be the advice. You're going to have an opportunity to possibly expose somebody for who they are, or ding back. Wait, the energy is far too combustible. And guess what? Also unpredictable. When Mars is sextiling Uranus like that, that's not a good time to retaliate, strike, even if you're completely in the right. I had this conversation with a friend last week. 1,000% you're right. Yes, absolutely. You have every right to be mad. Absolutely. Not a great idea right now, especially with everything else, for you to respond to this at all. And in fact, even carrying the energy is probably not great for you. There's times when we just want to think about how exhausting would it be if we were there's injustices in the world right now that we need to have our energy focused on. You see what I'm saying? There's energy in the world right now. There are bigger fish to fry than somebody who's petty. They'll probably be petty even if you get them good, even if everybody sees for 5 minutes. They'll go, you ever meet a snake salesman? You ever meet somebody who's snake salesman vibe? They'll go reinvent themselves and go do it. For what? For what to pull your energy? Universe is saying wait, especially, they'll tell on themselves. Look at what is happening in the world. I was saying that when Neptune was in retrograde. What we're seeing now is the information that was dug out while Neptune was in retrograde. We're just seeing the T's being crossed and the I's being dotted of that. I'm going to take a Healing Yourself. My Minnie Mouse light has gone kaput. I used it too much. Yeah, I even feel like if you could have all of the evidence, you could be completely right. And I feel like if you, in all of the righteousness in the world, take the energy to go say, hey, I know this person is really like this, even though they pretend to be like that, I actually don't see it going very well for you. Again, Uranus, Mars right now. And it doesn't mean you're sneaky. You might even do it in a very ethical way. It's just not now. I mean, I just think there's bigger places to put our energy. Okay. Okay. The spiritual card is self-sabotage. Now, with Aries, the way that self-sabotage is going to appear is the lack of follow-through. Obviously, it's the bad voices in our head that says, you know, all bark and no bite. Aries is cardinal. So hopefully if you're Aries, you have some other earthy, fixed energy, some more follow-through energy in your chart someplace. Most Aries suns do anyway. Self-sabotage is going to come with Aries through the form of not following through. Schedule your follow-through. Set an alarm for a week later. Because what happens is, let's be honest, if you have a lot of Aries energy and you set alarms to like make sure you do this and make sure, eventually those alarms are going to annoy you and you're going to shut them off. Right? And a lot of Aries are self-motivated, but it is the absolute follow-through. Set an alarm for a week. On a day that you know that you're not overscheduled, even if it's a weekend, to do catch up. You will feel so much better. And self-sabotage too, if we're looking at spiritual, that's also, I just said it during the Uranus conjunction video, you know, so this is an amazing time to really be in touch with your gifts, Jupiter, Uranus. And one of the surefire ways to like make you feel like I'm doing it wrong is to listen to anyone that A, works out of ego, B, tells you this is the one way, this my way is the best way to get in touch with your gifts. Everybody experiences their gifts different. Everybody, I have so many dear friends that are clairvoyant. They're clairvoyant in different ways. They, you know, their gifts came in different ways. So self-sabotage means also don't listen to one person that tells you this is the right way to do it. And if you're not doing it that way, maybe you don't have gifts, because everybody has gifts. So careful and find your own way. It's going to work differently for everybody else. Okay. Taurus. I promise I'll speed up. There was a lot of like extra in the beginning. All right. Okay. Let's look at Taurus, second house placements. Maybe you got Venus within 2 degrees of your ascendant, 2 or 3. Are people with Taurus placements, did you sleep or not sleep last night? Where the conjunction happened in my chart, I did not sleep. I'm on like 3 hours sleep. Hey, Mystic. So I want another good shuffle out of this. But of course, I have other friends that were also not sleeping last night. You know that thing when you send each other a message on TikTok and then you realize you're both awake. So, you know, we chatted till almost 9 in the morning. She knows who she is. Okay. Well, that seems to be a theme. I am telling you the energy right now, and then rolling into a Scorpio full moon. There is so much access to your gifts, your divinity, and your power. Your power. And the full moon is going to be squaring the Pluto in Aquarius, which I'm kind of stoked for. Okay. High Priestess. How great is this card? That is your card for love. Taurus. You may feel like you know, Taurus is the tree. Leo is the fireplace. They like the things to come to them. The iceberg, you're going to have to travel out to the iceberg too, Scorpio. And so they like the things to come to them. You may know who I feel like Taurus is going to be fielding quite a few offers, no matter where your Taurus placement is. You know, when Venus is finished with Aries, it's going to move into Taurus in its happy home. It's going to be glow up. At some point, we're going to have this gorgeous, you know, lineup in Taurus. And I feel like Taurus is going to be extra magnetic. Almost to a point where you're like, I don't know that I like all this attention. Just saying. You're a Venus run sign. Your Venus run placements, even if it's a different placement than Venus. I'm getting a chill to tell me that I'm on the right path here. When you're fielding these offers, I want you to close your eyes and imagine this person in like 30 years. I don't want you to think about what they look like. I want you to think how they feel spiritually, and then put that along with like all of your knowledge and all of the work you've done on yourself. Because the High Priestess, she's like the Empress, like they're that bitch, right? They're very, very psychic, very, very intuitive. There's some like Cancerian qualities here, and you and Cancer go together like peas and carrots. This could be a Cancerian or a water sign. I feel like you need to like close your eyes, and the money needs to go away. I want you to, you know, somebody who was older than me back in the day said something, which I don't necessarily agree with. But if you're on a date and you think they're smart and funny and this and that and the other thing, imagine them like sweaty and without their clothes on, and in 20 years, and if you could still be, I think that's a lot to ask of anybody, and that's just not how I personally work. I'm never attracted to the shell. I'm always attracted to the soul. I'm attracted, especially the mind, right? Smart does it for me all day. So welcome back, Rose. I know Rose was like, they did something, and I have to say for members, like I said that I was going to make a video and then I didn't because last week was cray. But hi Tanya. They've not made it easy for people to rejoin, because we were even looking on our phones. So I'm glad. She's emailing me going like, how do I rejoin? They're like, the button is missing. Glad to have you back. I think for this, Taurus, I want you to close your eyes and just imagine this person in 20 years from now. What happens if there's no money? What happens if like you're going to be able to know who this person is? But the other thing is, when you're fielding these offers, There's something here, whoever I'm talking to, second house placements and Taurus placements, there's somebody here where you don't understand your power in a relationship. And I don't see, I want to do a whole special about, let's get into the idea of power and Pluto and what that looks like, because we all have so many, most of us have a bad experience with somebody overpowering us, or people who want power so they can use it to keep themselves on top or to make sure nobody else can get to them. Where I see power as a tool of empowerment, just the same way I see money as a tool, not as a character assessment. And so there's something here where you get to be in a relationship first with yourself and then with somebody else, where there's no one's thinking of power differentials. No one's thinking of there's a lot of respect in whatever's coming up here. Hey, listen, this Jupiter-Uranus, Jupiter is the great benefic, and then this whole shebang is being ruled by Venus because it's in Taurus. There is good stuff coming. Keep your eyes open for it. All right, let's get a card for money. Ooh, Taurus, that's powerful. This is like a life-changing, it's major arcana, so that's a life-changing card to get for love. Oh. How weird. We get the Magician for the money card. If some of you have been looking to make money conventionally, go join a corporation conventionally, any of that, you're going to make your own. You're going to make your own opportunity. You're going to make your own opportunity. So this is side hustle. This is going on Upwork. This is taking your skill set that you've had. I talked about this, Uranus, Jupiter. We're watching a lot of corporations let very well-skilled employees go and hire less skilled, for different reasons. Sometimes it's, a lot of times, just money. But that experience still cannot be replaced, not with AI, not with somebody who doesn't have your both lived life experience and work experience. This is you offering your services as, and I keep using this term, and I've used it for one of my clients. I want to say like an actuary for people. Like going in, where is your business bleeding? I have this many years. This is making your own. You worked in tech, or, you have a channel, and what you've learned over, maybe your channel has not grown to the place you would like it, but at this point, you have all the skills of editing or whatever. This is making your own, not waiting for it to come to you. Again, you're the tree, right? The birds, the air, all of it comes to you. The tree doesn't move, right? We've had this conversation about Taurus. You're going to make your own opportunity, and it's going to be good. So much opportunity with this energy right now. And then that Scorpio full moon, right? Squaring the Aquarius, Pluto. There's so much movement available to the fixed signs right now. You just have to take it. Taurus, could your reading be any better? So far, all major arcana. By the way, here's the star card. That's your advice from the guides. Healing and wish fulfillment. I don't think I have to explain that. don't think I have to explain that. Taurus rising, Taurus sun. Second house placements, moon, Venus, whatever you like. If you're just listening and some reason this all resonates for you, then it's for you, because your guides are going to get you to the... Sometimes I'll have a friend send me a reading because I don't really go, or sometimes somebody I've never seen before will show up on my FYP. I'm not following them, whatever. Then I'll listen because I know my guides are going out of their way to get that message in front of me. Sometimes you're just listening to something that doesn't astrologically align, but it aligns other ways. Healing and wish fulfillment. Healing. Knowing that you have power in a relationship and you're not just there to be somebody else's comfort. Ooh, I felt that, Taurus. And Pluto with that Scorpio full moon is going to help you move. That's going to be like the mama bird going, go ahead, you can fly. Let's pull a card for spirituality. I have pulled out the shamans, the Colette Baron Reed. It's Arlene's birthday on Tuesday. Last year, y'all wanted a link. I'm not putting one up unless anyone asks. If you want the link, you can hit me with the comments. For like whatever her Amazon thing is or whatever. But it is her birthday on Tuesday. If y'all could say happy birthday. She's a quarter of a century. I would like to say I had her when I was like 14, but I didn't. Are you ready? Here's our... Where is she? She's dropping everything today. This one's going to be a little... Last year was crazy. I had kept seeing things for her and I was in that position. So like by the time her birthday came, the table when she woke up was stacked. And then Sadie walked into our driveway. So last year was like, she got a cat. And she was like, what's his face from Harry Potter? So this year, you cannot count the presents. But I'm going to make her a banging dinner. Hi, Jazzy. Okay. So this is the spiritual card. Many masks, the authentic self, energizing, internal allies, ooh, and a conscious shift. One of the things I kept talking about with the special with the Jupiter Uranus, and if you haven't watched that, go, it's heavily time-stamped. Please go watch it. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Is that Uranus begs authenticity. Uranus is here to disrupt, so it reorganizes us and brings us into a divine union, a divine marriage with our higher selves, with our best potential. If we want to take out all the woo-woo shit, right? Uranus is a planet that's wonky as fuck, and it has even a wonky orbit. Because how are we having a conjunction at 21 degrees and then having a second, not to the minute, but another 22 degree conjunction at the end with Jupiter moving much faster? It's wonky, right? So just from an astronomical sense, it's wonky, and it's wonky kind of crooked sideways orbit keeps all the other planets. That energy is the force that keeps everybody else on timing. So even when it looks wonky, even when it feels disruptive, even when it's like, why can't you just do what everyone else is doing? Because it's about nonconformity and authenticity. It is bringing us to our best potential. Anything it stirs up for change in your life, it's begging you to move into a place where you can reach your best potential. And best potential isn't how much money you make, who you get married to, what your house looks like. Your best potential is a place where you have so much inner peace that you can find joy in the smallest moments, that you love who you are, that you don't hide any part of you from anyone for any fucking reason ever. That's your best potential. We can absolutely add in there that you take your purpose, your gifts, all of that, and hit a sweet spot with your, and do that in a way that satiates, you know, the financial part of your life also. You know, when higher calling meets career, that's beautiful. Trust me. So when we have this authentic self during this time, Uranus is begging you for authenticity. Uranus is all about nonconformity. Think about an Aquarius. Drop the mask. Be who you are. When you're a mess on the floor, you can still be loved. Heal the idea that you are not just there for somebody else's comfort, like, and you're going to make your own Taurus. What a nice reading. Okay, evidently I'm taking a long time today. Takes a long time to love me, so I hope you're all snuggled in with a... That's a line from Friends. I hope you're all snuggled in, because we're only on Gemini. Sorry. Not sorry. All right, let's use the Stranger Things for Gemini, because I don't think I ever do that. And we are swimming, marinating in the opportunity and the authenticity and the nonconformist. Hi, Dolly. And for the members that are in here, we have the live stream on Friday. So if you're an Astro or a Nerd member, that will just be available to you Friday. Okay, so we have, for love, we have the Page of Cups, and it's in reverse. So Gemini, I don't think you're, I right away am getting the sense of somebody who is just charming and witty and funny, whether you're a Gemini moon, sun, rising, Mercury, Venus, whatever, or if this just resonates. I'm getting the energy of somebody who like doesn't mean to be flirting, or they don't think they're flirting, they're being charming, and it keeps, so like, or they give somebody a compliment, or maybe they flirt a little because they think like it's flirting. I mean, Gemini is going to be just good at flirting, right? They're good. He's not my ideal specimen or anything, but if we look at Chris Evans could probably look at you crooked and it feels like flirting. That's very Gemini energy, right? It could be a facial expression. Y'all just charming. So when we have the Page of Cups in reverse, this is giving me two things as a love card. This is either giving me, you are no longer accepting little compliments and thinking that they mean something that they don't mean, like reading into what they mean. And like, you know how everybody tries to like decipher all the clues for like the Taylor Swift thing? I don't do that, and I'm not like, I love her and I am starting to like some of the songs. Like her old albums really didn't hit me any certain way, but the way they talk about like the clues and whatever, and they're all putting it together, and she does that for them. Doing that mental gymnastics, like if jumping to conclusions could burn calories, you'd all be a size 0 kind of thing, because somebody said something or flirted a certain way or whatever. We're going to encourage you not to do that right now, especially while Mercury is in retrograde. The other thing is, not only are you no longer accepting small, you're not going to read into it, and you're just not accepting small little, like they messaged me back, so that's enough. You will not be taking small efforts. You will not be taking a little stinky, smelly fish in a cup as like, woohoo! Because that is about your own self-value. And you will not be having a whole relationship in your head because somebody winked at you. I love you. I'm a Gemini Mercury. It is, my Gemini energy is not part of my big three, but it is my whole entire chart ruler, that my Aries moon. So like, it's my final dispositor. It's my strongest final dispositor. So like, I kid because I know. The other thing here is that you might feel the need to just be careful. I feel like somebody got a message in their DMs. Like, they are not interested in somebody, but whoever this person is with is like, by the way, just so you know, they're taken. And you're like, great, good for you. Where do I send the gift? Like, don't want them. But like, there's almost this energy of feeling like, maybe I will just try so hard, Gemini. I know it's hard. How can I expect you to walk around this world and not be charming as fuck? I don't know, but I'm asking. Because y'all can turn a phrase. Gemini moon can turn a phrase. People think they're cold. They're not cold. It's funny because my dad, my son, and actually my dad and my two sons, all air moons. And the most loving, affectionate, romantic, sweet, lovely men you could ever meet. And one of my favorite humans in the whole wide world. Also, air moon, Gemini. And they're not cold. They are charming. You all know if you have Gemini placements, you're charming. You know, Geminis, listen, maybe for a little while you just like read your memories on Facebook or whatever and laugh and say I'm hilarious instead of like engaging with somebody that all of a sudden decides, you know, you're flirting. And you, for some reason, I am just feeling the energy. If it hasn't happened yet, somebody is going to get like a message or like a warning, or that person's person is going to start like liking all your stuff to be like, I see you flirting with my person, and you're not. But for sure, we are no longer accepting minute amounts of verbal and action confirmation for what somebody's feelings are. Okay. Let's get a money card. King of Cups. The right thing to do is where the money's coming. It's that easy. The right thing to do, the more stable, but where you can kind of also emotionally connect to how this money is coming in, is the right thing to do. And listen, if you are Gemini sun or you have a bunch of Gemini placements, it's possible you also have Cancer placements. That this is going to take you on a journey, Gemini, wherever this money is. Some of you could choose between two people. Oh my God, a choice. That's why the Lovers is the Gemini card. It was originally called the Choice. It's thematic for y'all. Somebody might have more stability, but you're not as invested. This is telling you, go wherever your heart is. That's where the money will be. It doesn't feel like overnight money, I'm not going to lie. But with a king, it's going to be, you know, the water signs are money signs too. Especially Cancer and Scorpio. Pisces, it can come in like unexpected fame you don't see coming, and then that brings money. But yeah, you might have a choice here, and you're supposed to go with literally however, I don't want to say moral, because morals are whatever aligns ethically for you and emotionally, really, but in a mature way. And then the money comes, and if it's a king, it means the money keeps coming. It's stable. Okay. The advice card right now, these are all spokes. You're getting all this, very emotional for Gemini right now. And you know, you've got all those Pisces placements squaring, and you've got all the Aries sextiling. So there's a lot of activity in Gemini, even though we're not talking about any placements in Gemini lately. Those planets are still having conversation with your placements. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups. This is kind of grieving. Something got thwarted. Something, especially with this card, it feels like something got thwarted. So it could feel like there's an obstacle to something that you want. Like the air got let out of the tires when you were on your way to something you really, really wanted. And this is going to be a matter of the heart. That still could be kids, friendships, you know, even our wounds around finances or stability, how we feel safe. That's still a matter of the heart. But this is the advice from your guides. You have to, and it's so poignant for Gemini placements, you have to feel the feelings. You cannot just think them out. You cannot just, and you can't override. You're going to have to grieve something and find a new way to what you want. You're going to have to grieve one thing and then find a new way to what you want. That's very, very clear from this card. Can we see like the deflated? You're going to have to grieve the way you were going to do it, or what didn't work out, and then you're going to have to find a new way to do it. It's funny, I'm just going to say this, on this channel, in my space, you will never see me rank signs for anything, for good, for bad, for anything. I'm just thinking about my dad. When my dad passed, the cards, the messages that flooded in from everyone saying like he was softness. And I mean, my dad was born in 1929. He had a rough childhood, and he was softer, kinder. He was the Pied Piper. He was a safe place for others, because a safe place for him would have meant the world. And he was just, oh my God. You just say the name Poppy to any one of his grandkids, and their whole demeanor lightens up, warms up. Silly, loving, affectionate, Gemini moon. The conditions and the other things in your chart are always going to flavor who you are. There is no worst or best of any sign. I still have to watch the unshaming of the signs, which I'm so happy to see that video getting made over on Astrology Podcast. I may not agree with everything, but I certainly agree with that. Okay, I wanted to take the spiritual card from this deck just to see if we got another spoke, and we did. I don't know what y'all doing, Gemini rising, Gemini moon, Gemini sun, Venus, whatever. Third house placements. I don't know what y'all doing, but yeah, it's the Six of Cups. If you are trying to get in touch with your gifts, and whether you're having a hard time quieting all the other noise and your brain, the secret sauce is in the childhood healing. Also, for some of you, the more you open up your spiritual gifts, soulmate comes in. Spokes, 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 spokes. Hearts, 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 hearts. Cups, 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 cups. All four. I don't know if I've ever seen a reading like that, to be honest. That's not subtle. That's not subtle. If you need to do any kind of inner child stuff and you're like, where do I start? There is a free video. I do not have a video pinned to say join my membership or anything else. My pinned video on the channel, as soon as you go to the channel page, so you have to click on my face. Not just on like random videos it might suggest. You have to go click on my face and go to the page. Is that childhood healing. If I've ever sent you an email, there's a link for it right under my picture on the signature in the email. I make it as available as possible. Okay, it's also on my website. Let's look at Cancer. Hi, Monica. Let's look at Cancer. I can't get the Freak-a-Leak song out of my head because I don't know if y'all have seen all over the internet. They're taking pictures of the Disney characters like during parades, and they're just replacing the music because evidently this new crop of characters have really been working on like their old school moves or their more modern moves. So you can put the song Freak-a-Leak. Dun, 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 dun. If you know, you know, to the Disney parades, and it looks like they are actually choreographed to that song. If you have not, who would Google this other than if somebody told you or it showed up? And if you have not, do yourself a favor. You can thank me later. Just Google Disney characters Freak-a-Leak or Freak-a-Leak Disney parade. Either one. Hilarious. So funny. I must send like 6 a day to Lee. Cancer. There's like 3 people in the chat, maybe 2, that are gonna know why I had to pause for a second. You got the Fool. And this is like a floating Fool. What I find really interesting about this Fool card, I'm going to call this the Dreamweaver deck. It's not. It's like the something dreamer something. I did a whole video about my cards. It's all time stamped. So whichever ones say dream, go look both of them up. If it's this card, then. But this Fool card, there's no scary place to land. This is what you got for the Love card. Could it be I'm falling in love with you, baby? If you are not already experiencing some like want to go pursue something in love with somebody, or you're not getting the butterflies or the glow or whatever, it's a coming. There's no other way. You're about to go on a journey. And even if you've been on the journey with that person before, this is different. And it's stable. She's leaning on you can see she's leaning also. The details in these cards are amazing. Oh, those are so dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. Hold on. Oh my God. The next Zoom, private Zoom, or I could do it on the live stream. Remind me all to tell you the story about the man cleaning his glasses. I will immediately know what you're talking about. You'll all die. I'm not telling that here. So there is like a lion behind her head. This just got so interesting because I missed, hi Samantha, I missed the detail on this, on the other one. So there's like a lion behind her head. There's a lot of symbolism behind the characters in this deck. However, if we look, it's the faces of old relationships on the floor. That's so interesting. But she's learned. So she's moving past, like completely over, literally over the old relationships, and she is stronger. So this isn't just a Fool card. This is a Fool card where we see somebody learning from whatever they learned in last relationships, but instead of moving forward in fear, like what happens if everything happens the same way again, it's moving forward, which I'm always saying, and Cancers are strong. I would say, go ahead, call Cancer a crybaby. You do whatever makes you happy. Whatever makes you feel like the bigger person. If you feel like you need to get a laugh at somebody else's expense, you go do you, baby. And go ahead and call Cancer a crybaby. But if they are crying in front of you, you're at your funeral and you just don't know. Because at the point that they are willing to cry in front of you, when they're angry or when they're mad or when they're really, really heartbroken, again, you're just at your funeral and you don't know it because they are grieving what they know they have to do next. Because after that good cry, you will not get the tears out of them. You will not get that overflow of emotion. It's not happening. So this is someone, when Cancer is done with you, they are done with you. Reruns are not on the menu, right? So this is somebody very done and very learned, and instead of moving forward in fear, they understand that they are the more healed version of themselves going into whatever relationship next than they were when they had these experiences. Period. The end. Ooh. All right. That's interesting. Let's get a card for money. So if you're not already like feeling like this could be love, I feel like I might be falling again. Instead of like, oh, gross. Which, don't get it, Cancers are like a water sign, but still, if they feel like Danger Will Robinson, they'll be like, nope, no. Yeah, the crying is for closure. They're sad because when you do enough to make a Cancer walk away from you completely, they're not just sad for themselves, they're sad for you because they know what they have to do now, and they know who they are, and they know that like, if a Cancer cuts you off, it's and if you're looking at dating a Cancer, being in a relationship with a Cancer in any way, shape, or form, here's the tricky thing. If you are somebody who doesn't cut people off, or if you're somebody who has experienced, trauma around somebody letting an ex back in and ruining what you guys have because whatever, if a Cancer tells you it's done with somebody, it really is. And if they did not have a bad breakup with somebody, they might keep them as a friend. If Cancer keeps somebody as a friend, they were not the one. And the breakup probably became because the Cancer realized that was not the one. So my point is, if you are dating a Cancer and you're worried about an ex, don't. Because when they're done, they're done. Romantically, at least. When they're done, they're done. And it does not matter what gets said in DMs or anything else. If a Cancer decides they're done, it's done. And a Cancer wants people to be careful with their heart. So they're unlikely to bring you into a situation where they're going to say anything like, this is committed, this is a serious, we're dating. It's not seeing each other. Right? Well, with a Cancer, it's more likely. Unless they have a ton of other placements. But they're probably not seeing 3 other people. But at the second that they tell you that this has any kind of like weight, validity, seriousness, they have room for one person. One person. But I get it. If you have like lived experience where somebody was like, the ex started like messaging about this or that, and they're laughing on the phone, and you're like, I'm not comfortable with that because A, B, C, D happened. And I might trust you, but I don't trust that ex. Trust me. I promise. Also, cheating is just not. You have to have some like serious early environmental, some serious like weird conversations happening in your chart, and some other very, very strong placements. And your Cancer placements have to be like completely unaspected for a Cancer to cheat 99% of the time. Not saying it's impossible, but okay. Money wise, Cancer, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. If you know, you know. If you've been in this community a while, this is, I don't like this card in upright. I love it. You are letting go of attachments. What this is the scary thing when like, do I have enough to get me through the rest of the month? And the more you focus on, I don't think I do. This is letting go of the fear around money insecurity, which sounds like really impractical advice if you're actually having money insecurities. The attachment is going to change, the letting go of the attachment of the old way that you used to think is going to help bring the money in. Also, again, I'm getting like how you go out for jobs, how you go for interviews. There's something here about overselling yourself, feeling like you need to oversell yourself in interviews or anything else. There's for sure something here about the less you oversell yourself, the more it feels like you are an established asset. Like, let them woo you. Let them woo you. Let them feel like you're interviewing them as a possible employer. Or if you're getting clients one by one, if you're getting clients, it's a little bit of confidence, but it's not cocky. It's the confidence that you deserve to have. Okay. My eyeballs hurt today. I'm just going to leave the glasses on top of my head. Okay. Advice from the universe. When you know, you know. You're going to get an Ace of Swords. You're going to get a gift. You're going to get a claircognizant hint, which is so Cancerian. You're a little bit unready with this. You've got an umbrella and a sword, but I kind of feel like that's connected to this and to this. You might have a new journey with money, whether that's a side gig or a new way of making money, But universe is gonna make sure that you know that you feel comfortable. They're gonna bring you truth, honestly. Somebody's gonna say something, even if that's you're applying for a job and one of the other people interviewing you kind of let something out that no one else was saying, and that's an important piece of information that you need to know, so that you know that it's a good fit all around. Like universe is going to bring you truth, probably a claircognite, because usually we see the Ace of Swords right through the crown chakra. You will absolutely get a physical feeling along when this thing is said. When I'm reading and you see my shoulders go, that's my physical sign. Cancers often have physical signs. Also, obviously, this is great if you have 4th house placements. I'm going to take a different deck for the spiritual read. But the advice is, like, you're covered. Your guides will have your back. You will get the claircognizant hit. You will get the clairsentient hit. And you will know what to pay attention to. I'm a big fan of, like, if your ears ring, when anything happens, like, am I having a physical reaction right? So 557 breath, there's a video on that on my channel. But the other thing is sit and have a conversation with your guides and say, okay, you can't just make my ears ring and I don't know what that means. Like that can be a little nerve wracking, right? So like if my left ear is ringing, then I have to, stop what I'm doing and pay attention. There's something else I should be paying attention to other than whatever it is that I'm currently paying attention to or the current conversation. And if my right ear rings, I know that I just said something that's the thing that I have to focus on, or somebody else just said something to me. Did you hear what they just said? Twice in the last 2 weeks, I've had somebody say, somebody said this to me, but I just thought they were saying it like this. Sometimes we don't want to hear what somebody is saying to us. Sometimes somebody's higher self or somebody's moment of unguardedness will kind of give us a little warning about who they are, how they operate. It doesn't make them a bad person at all. But maybe it doesn't align with our non-negotiables. And really hearing people the first time they say something to you instead of thinking oh, well, that's not going to be a big deal. They probably didn't mean it. Even especially a little hair, like a little, when somebody's had a little drink or anything that would kind of loosen their tongue. I say everything. No matter what, I dance on the table sober. But for a lot of people, they'll purposely do that because then it gives them an excuse to say the thing that they wouldn't say without the enhancements. So this is also a sign to Cancer. Listen, when people are talking to you, and have the conversation with your guides about make my ear ring, I'm not a big fan of the arms because we don't want to use our arms as a physical sign of any kind of confirmation, just because that's also something you want to be paying attention to medically. But use your shoulders, use your ears, use your hands, is it a cold chill or a warm chill? Okay. Let's get your spiritual card using Map of the Oracle. I always forget all the names of this stuff. Well, that's interesting. Let's get the... Was that it? Yep. In the Enchanted Map Oracle cards. And we are... See, I knew there was a reason. I'm leaving my glasses on. Okay. Let me show you the card. It's a very, very pretty card. I think Lee would like to have that in her backyard. Fear is an illusion. Choose love today. Forgive yourself and others. During the Sagittarius reading, which is your sister sign, is not your sister sign. It's in conjunct to you. You don't share anything. But during the Sagittarius full read, I posted in the comments, it was in the chat, but also in the comments, the Ho'oponopono prayer. I say that wrong every time and I apologize. That you can listen to before you go to bed. Sometimes even when other people don't deserve our forgiveness, just doing that prayer and being in that forgiving energy will shift things for you. I have personally experienced that. And I would encourage you. I will put it in this, but if you want to go find it right now, it's in the comments of the Sag video. And I would highly suggest that. Let's move on to Leo. I kind of want to light my candle right now, but there's enough on my desk. See? I went to go make room, push something off. Okay. All right, Leo, let's get a card for love. Oop, I just saw the Ace of Wands. Let's see if it wants to come out, it'll come out. Let me tell you something. I just did the fire signs and they were released yesterday, I want to say. Was it yesterday? I think it was. I entitled the reading, "The Woman Was Too Stunned to Speak," because holy cow. If you have any Leo placements, if you have any 5th house placements, go watch that video. It's insane in the membrane. Your love card is kind of my favorite card for love because it's the 10 of Pentacles. It's not just, it's getting everything together. It's the cohabitation. It is the, blended family. It is the, it's this legs that goes with the 10 of Cups. Like 10 of Cups is all the love. Like you're fabulously in love. Everybody knows that you're an official couple. It's like the celebration of it. The 10 of Pentacles is like actually making a life to it. To me, that's the happy ending card. I call it my happy ending card. Not so shabby for Leo. All the good things are coming. All the good things are coming. Jupiter, Uranus. Man, that's a nice card. Yeah, the Lee just posted about the booking special. It's running for another, what's today? 4 days. And then there won't be another special for 2 months. Okay. Money, you're getting the King of Wands. Leo, that's you. Now this King of Wands also has like a little chameleon on it, which is very interesting. It's like the mini emperor, isn't it? When we're looking at the King of Wands for money, career, all of that, we are looking at somebody who's gonna go and sit in that interview. I keep using interview analogies, but sit in the interview and say, oh, my New York just came out there. And say like, I'm the best person for the job. The King of Wands interviews for the job and they say, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And they say, in your position, doing your job. It is the unabashed knowing that like you are the moment, you are the abundance, you can do whatever. It's also like, if I don't know it now, I'll figure it out. With the chameleon here, though, it's very interesting. And, you know, even this card has the little, we have our little Leo lions here for our Leos. This could also be about, like, her name is Kristen somebody. I can't pronounce her last name on TikTok. I will try to find it. She does light language. I don't understand any of that, but I feel comfortable. Like, I feel comfortable being in her energy and letting her in mine. But she talks about, like, universe has all the money. Like, you know, it's okay to be like, hey, universe. And I talk about that all the time. Like the ODB song, like, baby, I want my money. There's a thing about, like, bring me the money. Like, show me the money. And the chameleon for me in this King of Wands, especially when it comes to money, is not about not being who you are all the time. It's about being adaptable to the environment. So, like, being confident, and there it is. Being confident, but not ever to the place where you're making somebody else feel less. So that your presence isn't wanted. Does that make sense? The confidence, but then not constantly. Like, say it once and let it sit, and then you follow through with your actions, because it's a king. It's very mature, action, fiery energy. Also, one of the things, if you're not selling yourself as Leo, is that you are good in crisis. Like, this is King of Wands for a Leo reading for, like, money and career. You're the person when, like, all the computers go down at work, or somebody gets triple sat. Like, you might bitch and moan in the back a little bit, but you've got it. Like, your ability to handle crisis and handle chaos and kind of, like, do it with a smile on your face is a big asset, and it's worth money. And if you're not talking about that to people, if you're not selling yourself like that, start. That just came through really, really strong. All right, let's get an advice card from your guides. You got a 10, a court card, and a major arcana. Leo. That full moon, especially if you are, first of all the Aries energy is trining having the I love you more conversation with your placements. Secondly, this full Scorpio moon that's coming in, and also the Uranus Jupiter is squaring, right? And then Pluto is opposing if you have early. But this movement between Aquarius and Scorpio is also going to affect you. Death. Complete transformation. I mean, it looks like a transformation of your life. The Death card is here to put something down. And Phoenix. It's about transformation. It's about when it's in reverse, I see it as resurrection of something, but when it's in death, there is something. Now, whether that is putting, for some of you, I feel like this is putting your old habits down and let them die because you don't need them anymore, because now you're this. This is all about, like, calling this shit in with just the understanding that, like, if you're having the worst day ever, and you've been temperamental, if you feel like you've been selfish, if you feel like you had too strong of a reaction to something, if you yelled, if maybe you could have handled that, you still deserve all of this, right? Like, and so you're a human. And you were here humaning in your meat suit. having a human experience. You still deserve all universe to bring you all this shit. Period. The idea that you have to be on the best behavior all the time is, I believe, what you have to phoenix out of that. Because then your response to everything, and I can confirm as a Venus in Leo, your response to everything is partially, yes, I deserve this. Also, let me correct it now because I did not, right? Maybe they didn't approve of my behavior. Maybe they didn't approve of my reaction. So now everything you do, instead of coming out of authenticity, is going to come out of this idea that you need to overcorrect what you just did. You don't need to do that because that never helps anything. That never helps anything. So you have a huge, huge, huge transformation. It's coming, and lean into it. As we go through transitions and transits in life, some of them can be uncomfortable, and some things in life bring pain, and I'm never going to negate that. But the length and amount of discomfort you feel can be directly correlated to your resistance to that change. And that's very important to say to my fixed sign friends. Okay. Let's get you a spiritual advice card. I'm feeling this. Working your light. And then we're on to Virgo. Much, much later. I'll start putting those SpongeBob things all up in my... I said I was going to make a quick video for somebody, and then it's me. I don't know what I... Talk about setting myself up for disappointment. So I just put in those, like, when I made them the video, I put in the thing that said much, much later. I have flaws. I try not to make denial one of them. Okay. Dance with life. That is the spiritual card. Do something to change your energy. Leo, there's been a lot of stuff squaring. You just got out of... You're probably still dealing with the aftermath of Venus retrograde going through your signs, because that bitch went all the way to 28 degrees before she turned around and went down. So she just read everything. I think unless you were 0 to 6, you got hit in that. And if you are 0 to 6, you're getting hit with the opposition of Pluto. Then you just went through a year and a half until last July. For the year and a half before that, before the Venus came in, you had the nodes and the eclipses squaring your Leo stuff, right? It's been a minute before you could feel like you could USA. And there is a Mars retrograde coming up in your sign in December. But that's not fear-mongering. That is just what it is. Do something to change your energy. Yeah. Because this kind of all goes together. This is all yours. You call it in. These are excellent cards as long as you are willing to change the energy and put to death anything else that and it's probably going to be your own stuff. We often like to look at other people and external conditions or other people for why something else isn't happening. But we have so much power. We have so much power. Okay. Let's put these guys back. Let me not let that whole thing fall. We are on Virgo. Feeling these. I don't want to I'm just thinking that maybe I would do like chart readings for the full moon in Scorpio. Let me know how you all feel about that in the regular comments or go into another video. I'll see all of those. Don't leave it in the chat here because I'm channeling and concentrated on that. But as long as my software is up and running again tomorrow, then maybe I could go live and actually look at the charts for anyone who wants to do that. Yeah, a lot of change for Leos. All right, Virgo, let's get your card for love. Page of Wands. Virgo's 6th house placements. If you've been, I want to say dormant, and it doesn't mean you're not in a relationship that's, because like Virgos will stay and try to fix stuff, but like you could have stayed too long in a relationship, or you could have just taken yourself off the market altogether, which is, I always recommend spend a little time by yourself so that like you understand yourself, so that and because, and I have a little video about this, maybe I'll take it off TikTok and put it on here, but like, you know, if the 1st house is us and that 7th house is our self, experiencing ourself through, it's not just the people, it's experiencing ourself through the lens of others. So it's like a mirror. And sometimes if you haven't spent any time without that mirror being flavored by other people's past life, this life's trauma, lived experiences, their own chart, right? Then we only know ourselves through how we affect others. And so spending a little time alone, it's never a bad thing. This Page of Wands, first of all, the Page of Wands is like curiosity. Somebody is either looking for you. This is lush. Like this page is in a rainforest for sure. You might be dealing with somebody who's not from where you're at. I have chills when I say that. They're standing on, I mean, there's lots of greenery in here. There's lots of, I mean, it's very earthy Page of Wands. You're looking at somebody different, or somebody has caught your eye. You're going to hear from them. You will hear from them. It's going to be towards the end. Oof, the chills. Virgo. This is going to be exciting in a way that you maybe have not felt safe for excitement, because the last person that brought you excitement also brought you a big pain in the ass. But as a love card, I mean, this is really... They're already looking at you. This is so silly because I know I'm talking to adults. Virgos can kind of maybe have a little bit of an intimidation factor at times. To not make you feel uncomfortable, or they're really aware of what you just went through, and they would rather not deal with you at all than have you kind of cut them off because timing was not right. I feel like for a few of you, somebody's going to be like, hey, you know my friend, or like, hey, did you ever look at so-and-so in this way? Or like, I think they might like you. To have somebody like suss you out how you feel about them. Which still happens in adults. It's like passing a note in gym, but in a mature way. The King of Pentacles just showed. Let's get a card for money. This is very interesting, Virgo. I still feel like they feel a little resistance to your energy, so they're like going to move slow. Okay. Money, Hangman in reverse. So isn't this the prettiest Hangman card you ever saw? See the unzipping? So this is in reverse. So whatever obstacles were put on finances coming in or coming off, period, the end. That's what it means when we're talking. This is why I wanted to be specific. When we have this as the money card and it's in reverse, whatever obstacle, because I have a couple of cards that means it's time. For the Hangman, that's something the universe puts the kibosh on or makes you wait when you don't want to. Where like Four of Swords or the Hermit, you're kind of, especially the Hermit, you're going in purposely for the enlightenment. You're putting yourself on pause. You know, the Four of Swords is kind of like a co-conspiracy between you and your guides and whatever to put you in a spiritual rest. That's one you give into also. And the Seven of Pentacles. When you've done all the things and it's just not happening and there's frustration and it's about timing. All of those when they're in reverse for me are it's time. But as a money card for this, it means the obstacles are being removed, which is huge. Major Arcana, huge. For some of you, you might get an offer. You might have been taken out, like you might have wanted to do one thing and it didn't work out and you just kind of felt like you missed that opportunity. You missed that opportunity. Especially if you didn't like jump on it before Jupiter went back direct. This Jupiter-Uranus could be like unlocking whatever you felt like you missed back then. Oof. Let's get a card for advice for Virgo. Take the leap. Take the leap. Take the leap. Take the leap. It's another Fool card. Very Aries energy. Whether it's love or whether it's I feel like a project. I feel with this Hangman, I feel like you were taken from one thing because there's something much more suited to you and like some kind of collaboration. You're Virgo. You're going to overanalyze and imposter syndrome and everything else a little bit. But your advice is to take the leap. That could just not be more clear. Let's get you a spiritual card. And I wanted to use these this time. Oops. These are, I want to always call these like the white wolf cards. They're so beautiful. These were a gift from my Heidi. They're like the white light oracle. See what we have for you, Virgo. I'm such a nerd. Whenever I see these cards, I think of Sirius Black and how he was like a wolfhound. And I think that once he crossed over, he was like this white wolf in protection. And I think of a lot of us as like having kind of that relationship with our loved ones when they cross over. They become this very protective, very spiritual, like white wolf. And they do what they can. Especially the more strained or complicated or like an intricate tapestry that relationship was when they were here, I feel like when they cross over, there's even more vehement, I don't want to say interference, but as much support as they can give. Okay. We got the Sovereign Queen Maeve. Let me look this one up. And glasses. Yeah, well, he was like a black wolfhound, right? And so when he crossed, I always think that's what he looked like once he crossed, because that face reminds me of him looking at Harry from behind the bushes and every place else he was. Hound dog. Whenever I talk about Harry Potter, I get into the vernacular. Okay. Value what is sacred to you by protecting it from interference, even that which may be well-intentioned. Be compassionate, but set firm boundaries. You are going to triumph over a negative situation. It will take courage, but you will have more than enough strength, resourcefulness, and boldness to accomplish what you need to attain. Do not give up. You have the ability to connect with higher worlds, so open your heart and mind and light. So sometimes when we have a very mercurial placement, which Virgo obviously is, when we have a very mercurial placement, we can overthink. We even want to I find myself doing that as a Virgo rising. Sometimes I'll have a very spiritual experience and then immediately my brain wants to like put it where it's supposed to go, even in a spiritual sense. That Virgo and also then Mercury is my chart ruler, and then it's also my final dispositor. So like my brain really wants to put things in order, and that can create a sense of like, I don't know, maybe I'm not psychic. Maybe I just have that from learned experience. Keep going. I mean, jumping in and with jumping in with this also, if that's your advice for all three other cards, it means being willing to be wrong and sound wrong and say things wrong. It also means on a spiritual level, you know, write things down if that's easier for you. Sometimes when my kids and I are watching a movie, we write down in our notes what we think is going to happen so we don't spoil it for each other, so we can read later if we were right. But, you know, do whatever you have to do so that you have the confirmation later. You're never going to get the full confidence to know that you're always right. It's unlikely if you're Virgo, because you're going to want to, you don't just blurt things and not give it any thought. That's really hard to do with Virgo placements. So you'll tend to over-explain even the most psychic things that happen to you. Even when you're right again and again and again. I can read my reviews. Like, I can have long time experiences with clients that wouldn't keep coming back if I was wrong all the time. I still often want to edit what I'm seeing or feeling because it doesn't make sense to me. This is about just giving in, and the day that I decided, I will just be wrong sometimes, and that's okay. That's really when everything started to flow a lot more. So that is the spiritual advice for Virgo. Let's move into Libra, and I'm going to use the Good Tarot. What do I do with those other cards? Okay. It's like putting the cereal back in the refrigerator and the milk in the cabinet. Okay. Libras. I want to go back and look when the last time we had a Jupiter, Uranus, and Libra, because that would have been the last time that we had a Venusian run. Uranus, Jupiter conjunction. But, you know, we don't get one in every sign because they only happen every... (13 to 14 years). Depends. It could be a little closer to 12, but it's almost never. Libra. Bye, Jazzy. See you Friday for the live stream. Four of Wands, the celebration, that is your love card. That now normally I will not say the Four of Wands is marriage unless I have like the Hierophant or the Ten of Pentacles or other cards present. So I'm not going to full on go say, oh yeah, this is marriage. However, it's celebration, Libras. It is divine. It's the 1111 card. I don't think that needs a whole lot of explaining. Either the love you're in now or a love that's coming for you is a love worth celebrating, and it's going to be a very divine connection. A very, very nice card. Okay. Money, you're getting a major arcana. It's the Chariot. Something is moving. You're going to have to let universe take you someplace, Libra. It feels like there's a little discomfort with it, but you know, you're a cardinal sign. So you know how to move. How gorgeous is she, this card? Remember, there's light and dark in a Chariot card. And also that's universe and your guides and your team literally trying to take you. The more we relax in the Chariot card, the better we do. You could have to travel a little bit for work, or just, there's something here about moving out of your comfort zone, but like this move is big. This move is like, career-wise, money-wise, this changes everything. Like, it won't go back, but in a good way. This may mean a little less time at home than you would like in the beginning, but I feel like financial freedom and just freedom long term from this, but you're going to have to allow yourself to get a little uncomfortable. Now, if you are Libra and you're Venusian run, that may mean like, well, things are already like, we're just paying the bills. If I take this opportunity, maybe it's something where you have to like intern or not get like the, like it's gonna grow, right? It can't be what it will be, but what it will be is worth taking that little break. Also, if you're already in a relationship, your partner may not, it may make them, they're going to be supportive, but you know it's making them nervous. You don't want to put stress on them, is what I'm getting. Like, they won't stop you from the good opportunity, but it may cause stress, and so that's going to be the discomfort. But you'll get through it, though. I mean, look at your love card. Like, I'm not worried. If your love card was like, notice all the love cards are good right now. Jupiter, Uranus, Venusian run. Okay. Advice is the Seven of Cups. Embrace all the choices you have right now. Careful of illusion and delusion, but you have to look at your other choices right now. And just know that they won't all be good. Libra, I'm feeling to like sit down, write it down. You might get a little too much in your head. Libra's also kind of a little known with that air sign. The decision making is sometimes a little challenging. This is a beautiful, like, we're not seeing a snake. There's no like barracuda in the lineup here. There's, I mean, that one fish looks a little sus, not gonna lie. But there's, don't get caught in the procrastination of like, which choice do I make? Like, you're gonna know. I don't feel like that's about love. I feel like this is more about the decision to like let the Chariot take you. Careful. Know that you have choices, and that even if this one doesn't work out, there's another one waiting. You have a lot of talent, whoever I'm talking to. There's a lot of talent here. And I don't think that you give yourself enough credit for that. And you need to soon. Let's take... your spiritual card. Starting to get hungry. Normally I would not go this late. I know it made it a little harder for some of you to be here today, but you didn't want me at 1:15. I would have only been on like 2.5 hours of sleep. Co-create. It's the wisdom, the strength. It's like the wisdom is on the high wire. And I mean, there's celebration here. It's like all of the cards put together. When you have the choices, so Libras can be very, very, very psychic. If this is about you and like accessing your gifts, know that it doesn't have to look one way or another. And that you probably, this might be for people who have like a lot of claircognizant and it's hard to decide like what is in my library of knowledge. I talk about that all the time. There's videos like that. I may do another one soon about how to tell what's your library of knowledge and what's a claircognizant hit. But it's time to start acting on it more and trusting it more. Whichever choice feels like inner wisdom to you, again, I highly recommend, like, you know, put a needle on a string. You don't need much to make a pendulum. And just calibrate it. Is my name, you know, Murgatroyd? Is my name Bugs Bunny? Let it give you a no. Then say your real name. Let it give you a yes. Ask a couple of questions. Find out where the wisdom is in those choices, because that is a huge hint. Okay. Scorpio. You know what? We're going to use these guys. We're going to use the Starman Tarot for Scorpio. Especially with the full moon coming up. And again, let me know if you would want me to do something where we're looking at charts. We can do like a little healing for the Scorpio full moon too, but I'm happy to look at charts as long as my software is back up. Okay, ooh, King of Wands. Brown chicken, brown cow. That's your love card right now. Inspired, motivated to move towards something that makes you feel fucking alive again in all the right ways. You know that feeling when you're talking to somebody and your body feels plugged in? That's this card right now. I mean, literally. It's love. But it's not just like love and arousal and all of those lovely kind of feelings that we hope love has for us, right? No matter what somebody looks like. A lot of times the arousal isn't here, right? And I think Scorpio very much can be like they're the sign of psychology. They can very much be in the brain about their arousal. But the other thing with this King of Wands is that this is a mate that is going to make you feel alive in life. Like, you don't have to be as much under the water. You don't have to be the iceberg. Shauna, King of Wands. I can't unhear that now. Every King of Wands now is going to be the King of Wands. I'm dead, dying with his Scorpio moon and Scorpio rising. Yeah. This person doesn't just make you feel like brown chicken, brown cow about them, but they make you feel alive again in your life, which is lovely. Like, you don't have to be, when the King of Wands comes out for Scorpio, that's the iceberg, right? And you normally just give people just the tip. This is someplace where you feel safe letting somebody in. You know, this is somebody that gives you all the feels and the pep in your step, and also like, they're happy to be in there, and they're happy to like bring scuba gear so that you can feel safer kind of operating where you're comfortable operating, so that all of life, like the food will taste better, the everything. I'm telling you, Jupiter and Uranus has so much, and don't forget that is on the other side of your seesaw, Scorpio. Jupiter and Uranus has so much good stuff to pluck out of it. Sorry, this happens to me and I can't. And my tea and some kind of lip conditioner all the time. They're all over the house. It's ridiculous. Money is the Chariot, just like your friend Libra. Something is going to come in. It'll, like, again, universe, lean back, enjoy the ride. I know you're fixed, but the Chariot's coming to take you someplace. The iceberg will be moved. That's what these two cards said. Are you going to let it in, Scorpio? This could be also, you know, financial opportunity given to you by somebody who's got some Cancer placements, but I don't think so. I think this is more about you letting universe move you into a place that's very abundant. Well, you know, the King of Wands has a lot of fire for that iceberg to kind of melt a little. You know, it's dangerous for you to be standing here in the frozen fruit aisle. Because you're so hot, you could melt all this stuff. If you know, you know. And if you know, you're my kind of people. Let's get the advice. I can't. I cannot. It's the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So the Knight of Pentacles moves so fucking slow. Just like a Scorpio. I'll think about it. I'm going to sit here. I'm going to get off the horse. I'm going to sit here and I'll think about it. right? But why would I put myself in that position just to like gain another scar? What's it going to be worth for me? Let me sit here and think about it. When the Knight of Pentacles is in reverse, it means it's unstuck. Unstuck. What I keep, you know, could I say something in the same way in 3 different languages? You're moving. That Scorpio full moon is squaring the Aquarius Pluto. You're moving. And it's going to be for good. And all this good energy, are you kidding? I mean, Venus and Jupiter are on the other side of your seesaw. Venus is kind of always on the other side of your seesaw. Okay, let's get a card. We're taking Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. I think I know this one. It's not like we're calling Scorpio stubborn that we say the same thing 3 times. If you know, I absolutely adore Scorpios. We have many here. I feel like I put them in. We have many here in the community. I have a Scorpio rising child. Yeah. If Woody had just gone straight to the police the first time. I'm dying to see if anyone... Hi, is that Melith, the Truthsayer? I love that name. But I love y'all so much. I hate this. Oh, Scorpios are the best. So my Pluto on my ascendant wants to like kind of swim in that dark humor, and a Scorpio is the first. Okay. Lady of Lightning, surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. Ooh. That's so unlike all the other cards we have. It's Melissa. Hi, Melissa. This is so unlike all the other cards we have. Yeah, you're going to get it's going to be like walking into the Walmart. Everybody's going to greet you because this community is really, really nice. Surprises, sometimes shock, total paradigm shift. Uranus. I mean, surprise good. Surprise good, are you going to take it? I mean, this is good. You're going to move. What did I say? You're moving. The iceberg is moving. And then we get the... Yeah. It's funny. A lot of people here who don't actually have Scorpio placements have a lot of 8th house placements. You know, like attracts like. Well, Pluto and the full moon are coming to shift things for you, girl. You just, that Chariot card, you gotta sit back and let it take you where it wants to take you without telling yourself why it shouldn't. I get it. I mean, I do get it. Put all these back. We are on Sagittarius. What cards do I want? Let's take these guys. actually don't want to cook. I have to make bread. I have to make some other things. I'm making butter and bread tonight. And spending both our lives living in this Amish paradise. Churn butter once or twice. So I don't want to cook. Yeah. The Sag reading too was cray on the channel. Okay. Love. Okay, for Sagittarius, this is interesting. Whatever's going on with love, you're moving from choppy waters to smooth waters. That's literally what the Six of Swords is. You are taking your mindset, your communication, your thought process, all of it with you to the smoother waters. So one, whenever I get the Six of Swords, I like to say, you know, you're taking you. You're in the boat, the way you think, your mindset, your communication. So if you can spend time in that travel, kind of feeling really aligned with where it's at now and looking at what you don't need anymore before you get there, that's really helpful to make the Six of Swords kind of align with the Six of Wands, right? To that success. It's beautiful. It looks like a Monet painting. This is the Love is Love deck, and every page is illustrated by a different artist in the LGBTQIA community. This one is just stunning. So what's interesting is no one's really steering here. We're letting universe take us. Now, what I also like is these two people are paying attention to each other. This is not one person doing a thing while somebody else is deep in thought. They are facing each other. They are looking forward together. If you are not leaving out of a relationship that is a little choppy, then you have both people in the boat and it's about to get smoother. So whatever is bumpy won't be bumpy anymore. It's going to a much nicer place. So if things have been chaotic, or you could be leaving something that's just not, you know, sometimes we acclimate to choppy and we think this is, y'all are gonna get so mad at me, and I'm gonna look at the timestamp for this because I might take this out and, or not take it out, but like take a snippet of it and put it up as a separate video. But here's my controversial take for today. You know how we're all told, like, marriages are hard. Marriages take work. Marriages, like, you have to... Anything in life is going to take growth, work, accountability. Anything in life. Marriage is hard. Relationships is hard. I think is a bad seed to plant. Because when you take marriage is hard and you add it to childhood trauma, which almost always affects, it does, just always, self-esteem and self-worth and how we think we can be loved. If you take those two together and put them in somebody's brain, because you're wiring when we're young, right? All of our wiring isn't done until we're into our 20s. So when we take all of the wiring and how we accept love in, and how we feel in any of the ways that we don't feel worthy of love, or how we have to like pad the insurance policy to make sure we're loved, and some of those are really not healthy. And we take that with being told again and again as a social construct and social conditioning and programming that relationships are hard. Marriage is hard. It allows us to stay in abusive spaces. Whether that's verbally abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive, sexually abusive, self-esteem abusive, whether it robs us of our own journey to satiate ourselves. I said what I said. I don't love that. it shouldn't just be laid down black and white. Things have nuance. There's Venn diagrams to life. I'm probably gonna get a lot of shit for saying that. And it doesn't mean marriages that are good, that last a long time, didn't take work at times. Anything in life takes work in the form of examining everything and having accountability and being open to move and let go of social constructs and let go of early programming and heal trauma. Anything takes that accountability. When I said I was on the phones from, I don't know, I think it was like 5 in the morning until 8 in the morning texting with a friend. One of the things we were talking about is like what we did wrong in friendships and love relationships, how we can see it now, and that it's so important to like clock ourselves that way so that we don't repeat it. That's what healthy conversation looks like, not just like that asshole. Just saying, get you a friend that you guys can talk to each other about the ways that you were in your own way, because that wasn't healed yet and now it is, and that's okay, and there's no shame in the unhealed version of you. Get yourself a friend that you can sit in a space of non-judgment. This is beautiful. This is you understanding that it doesn't have to be hard for you every day, or else you're a failure. Or this is you with the person that you want to make it work with, and that is both of you taking that journey over to look at those swords, examine them, have accountability, heal the trauma manifested behaviors and communication styles that you don't need anymore. It takes two people, and sometimes, you know what? Sometimes we grow apart, and sometimes our non-negotiables bump up against each other. Sometimes what makes one person feel safe, right, is the thing that triggers the other into not feeling safe. And no one has to be a bad guy. There doesn't have to be a villain. Two controversial things just in Sag's reading. Money, 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 money. Ooh, Ace of Wands. So this is a gift. Now listen, Sag likes everybody to win. I swear to God, this is just like the Sag reading I just did. It was released yesterday. If you have any Sag or 9th house placements, or have Jupiter within 3 degrees of your ascendant, go watch this. Or if any of this is resonating with you, go watch the Sag reading. Again, we have a chameleon, very interesting. Just like Leo's reading, another fire sign. And of course, all this fire energy, the eclipse is all having the I love you more conversation with your placements. Listen, 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 people. Listen, Linda. I keep getting that Sagittarius placements are going to get an opportunity to make money, and you want it, and it's great, and it's good for you, and it sets you on fire the way a Sagittarius should fucking live. Okay, you are not here to blend in with you are here to satiate your soul. You are here to like know things, and to act on that, and you don't water down a Sagittarius. It's the meanest thing you can do to them, right? This Ace of Wands coming in as money means there is an opportunity. I just got chills. The thing that you may have to move out of relationship-wise is staying the same to keep somebody else's comfort. But this is something you want to do. This is something that like you would... I used to say before I had this career, I had another career where I loved pulling in to work. Couldn't wait to get to work. Loved it. For 30 years. Loved. I'm a very lucky woman. Right? That's this kind of... and it's gonna come in like a gift from universe, and you're gonna want to do it. And you'll know when it makes you feel alive, there's money there. Advice card. The Magician. Is that the third or fourth reading we've had the Magician pop out? You're moving from choppy waters to smoother waters in your love relationships. You have an offer coming in, sanctioned and supported by universe, that is going to set your soul on fire in the best way. It's going to bring you money. And the thing is, you're going to have to, I didn't say it. Go watch the Sag reading. I didn't say it because there's no other cards. They're not pulling any other cards to say, don't not take this opportunity because you feel like you can't bring somebody else with you. Magician, you're going to have to make this happen. With everything you are, you're going to have to make this happen. It's going to land in your lap, but you're going to have to co-create with universe and take this and run. There's just a lot here about, there's, woo. Throat chakra attack. Okay. Go watch the Sag reading. Trust me. Let's get a spiritual card here. We're going to take Oracle of the Mystical Moments. I wish this person would make more cards, but I get it because, like, I'm still struggling to get the last cards out because I can't just, I'm not downloading, like, random pictures, stock pictures to make my deck. And it's all, like, very connected to me, so of course I can't be quick about it. Because if I don't feel, my Virgo cannot put my name on it if I'm just like doing it to be done so I can start selling them. Truth. I should rewatch the Virgo reading because I'm pretty sure there's something about that. All right. We have treasured memories. Memories, nostalgia, recognition. We see a woman sitting calmly. She looks forward to somewhere we don't know while her mind is drifting into the past. Yeah. So this is all forward movement. Everything in here is forward. This is Six of Swords, forward movement. Ace Wands, forward movement. Magician is forward movement. There is some tie to someone or something that is making you feel nostalgic. Marie Kondo that. I'm a big fan. If you don't know who she is, look her up, right? She does it for like decluttering your house. But like if this is the memories you have with the person when you guys suited each other, when that version of healed helped you, grew you, you have beautiful memories. You got exactly what you needed from each other at that point, right? And you have outgrown it. Just think about all of your most treasured memories with that person or that project or whatever it is, and thank it for all the joy that it gave you. And if it does not make your soul sing in this very present moment, then you can let it go. You can thank it for everything it was. When we walk away from someone, when we let something go, it's not the same as saying, you were useless, you were a waste of my time, I never loved you. It is not. Conflating that in our head is what makes us stay attached to things that aren't for us anymore. I said what I said. Okay. I'm gonna use, I think, a steampunk. For Capricorn, so fitting. All right, Capricorn, what do we got for love here? What do we got for love? Same thing as Gemini. Page of Cups. In reverse. This creepily looks like Michael Jackson on the beach. Trying to get that focused in. I don't know if y'all can see that. If you could see the face up close. Look how ratted and tatted these are. I've had them forever. We have a Page of Cups. So this is somebody all dressed up, coming to meet the moment, and with this tiny little cup, see the posture? Here. Swimming in their emotions. Oh, Capricorn, you're either not accepting the little apologies, because also Page of Cups can be an apology. You're either not accepting apologies, or you are not accepting I feel like for some of you, this is somebody in and out of your life. Just for maybe a handful of you. But this is somebody in and out of your life. And you can't. And, you know, I lovingly talk about Capricorn also being a humanitarian. They're just one person at a time. Where Aquarius will focus on the collective, less so individual. Capricorn focuses on the individual. And this is someone I think, and I talk about this so much, Capricorn, we're like, sometimes we feel like we're abandoning people when they just can't grow with us. This feels like a different Page of Cups than Gemini's Page of Cups in reverse. Okay, I'm just going to say what I heard. Some of y'all motherfuckers ain't grateful, so you don't get it anymore. I heard that loud and clear. You'll know if that's for you. And the other thing is that this person does come to you with their heart on their sleeve, and they come with you. They kind of know how to get to your emotional center because you are creme brulee. Along with Scorpio and Aries, you are creme brulee. I don't think it's like the world is passing them by and you by as you continue to like hope on this person. You're not waiting on them. I don't think you're waiting because time is the currency for Capricorn. So I don't think you're waiting because there's too much to be done. There's too much to be accomplished, right? But the world is moving and this person isn't. But every once in a while they come to you with like, and they really, and the thing that's the hardest is I feel like they really mean it. I think that this is a beautiful, beautiful love card for you, and I will tell you why, Capricorn. This releases you. You get to like move with the rest of the world now. I don't think you were waiting on them, but you're done hoping on them. And I will tell you, sometimes when you are done hoping on them, they will feel that energy move. And for someone, you know, I don't like saying it because I don't want anybody sitting in that waiting energy. It's really important, the difference to know between holding space and waiting energy. But like for maybe one or two of you, that snap of the energy pulled back may make a difference. But for a lot of you, it's not going to. This releases you to something else. This releases you to I want to say like the real love of your life. There's a lot of past life stuff with whoever this was. But it's like being unfreed from a cage. Like it's a beautiful love card because it opens up new possibilities. There may be even an old possibility There may even be an old possibility that you didn't take before because you felt like, well, when this person gets their shit straight, I would be completely destroying this other person because I can't give them my heart. Like that, I would have given you all of my heart. Song. Cat Stevens before Sheryl Crow. For finances, we have a gorgeous, gorgeous world card. I swear that this came out in the Capricorn reading. I'll have to go check. But I feel like the money. But also like this, you're just closing doors and moving forward. Just want you to see too, in this Page of Cups, there's a high-speed jet behind this person dressed all in like, what is that, 16th century? That's Elizabethan garb. You're moving. You're moving into a new love, and a love that like you're actually free. Like you are unshackled from fully allowing somebody else in, because other people have wanted in. Oh, I want to do a whole read just on that card. Oof, that hit me hard. This world card is gorgeous. I also keep getting for Capricorn that like you could have, because you learn everything. If a career, you're going to do it the best, right? So like when you're determined to do something the best, you could be ready for a whole new chapter, a whole new world. Like this looks like a big move up. I almost want to say there's like a little fame with this, and money, lots of recognition, which Capricorn will love. Okay, what is the advice? What is the advice? Another one, Four of Pentacles, let the attachment go. Marie Kondo all over again. What I said for Sag, I'm saying it again. Let this go. Let this go. And there are other people that are going to come in and try to do what you just did and be like, oh, I'm the next so-and-so, whoever you are. And you're not going to be able to do it. Resist the urge to go back and like show them how it's supposed to be done, because you're supposed to be moving on to a new thing. That was very, very, very clear. And I started smiling because I could feel like you're, and you know, for some of you, this is about like, you're only giving to the deserving now. That story wasn't, you know, I said there's two storylines here with that. I say storyline because Tyler says storyline, and now I'm just like, in my head, I'm thinking, yep, that's the right word. Let's look at Hi, Doretha. We mentioned you before. All right, Capricorn advice card. Then we're going to do Aquarius and Pisces and give away a reading. Hi, Maricela. Okay, yep, planting something new. You know, I'm always, I'll be honest with you. Capricorns are the first one to tell you this shit is not. In fact, I made the Capricorn thing about Capricorn's currency is time. So if a Capricorn spends all their quality time on you, that's like somebody else spending all of their money. Right? And so I put that video out, and I think I labeled it like want to know a secret about Capricorns. And somebody trolled me and said that they're dumb enough to believe in astrology or something. And of course, you know, you can't expect to not have trolls. It's, you know, and I have no problem with it. Aries moon and Gemini Mercury. I'll be just fine. Never feel bad for me in a troll situation. I'm probably not the person you need to feel bad for. And also, I think it's funny. I don't take any of that personal. Other people's opinions of me are none of my business. Like, that's a true way that I live my life, not just a saying or a meme. But anyway, it's whatever. Like, it always cracks me up. I just said, hey, if you need a space to be angry and get out whatever it is you need to heal, you can come here and troll me. You know, it's great for the engagement. You just come here and say mean things to strangers on the internet. And if that makes you feel good, I'm happy to be that space. That's how I feel about trolls. And I'm not saying that while I'm shaking. I'm totally fine with it. So planting something new. I want to say this again, every single time that I get a new Capricorn. One time when I did like whichever sign got the most, comment with your sign on a all signs thing and see how many people commented Capricorn, they got a bonus love reading the next week. Like just love. And I was shocked the first time Capricorn won, and they won a couple of times, which means that in my community, there's a lot of Capricorns. That feels really flattering. First of all, y'all Capricorns, so I'll be flattered if you want to sit and listen to me. Because you have choices and you don't have time to waste your time. So if you're listening to me, like, I get it from a Capricorn. That's a high compliment. Also, because Capricorns are the first ones to be like, all of this is bullshit. So I always feel extra like flattered that I have as many Capricorns as I do. I've also gotten the most, not on this channel, but in other places, sometimes people telling me that I had Capricorn all wrong, and that's fine. But they took something and extrapolated and ran with it. And I wasn't on screen, so I wasn't allowed to like give the nuance, but whatever. I appreciate, because then when you're here in the community, I know you're not going to be here and just willy-nilly go along with anything I say, right? When I tell you, look at this card, your psychic abilities, and Capricorns are, I know some of the most psychic people I know are Caps. All right. Or have strong Cap placements. Planting new seeds. I think you might have a new level of one of your gifts coming in. So whether that's paying attention to, like, if you're hearing an extra, like if you're hearing over the veil. This is also for 10th house placements. I will tell you all honestly, lately, I feel like I'm hearing not voices or anything, but like an extra noise. Like I feel like, you know, when like you leave your phone running on like, I don't know, Instagram or TikTok or something where there's like, and you're like, oh, where's that other, or there's like a radio playing in the background. It mostly sounds like music. And I will have to turn everything off to see where it's coming from. And sometimes it's just, it sounds like music that I'm hearing from really, really far away. And I'll turn off all of my devices and I can still rate. So like that's new, but I'm also having a very, very, very strong Neptune aspect right now. And it's in my 3rd house. Hearing, speaking, listening, writing, communication. Not only do you have new expanded career stuff coming for you, and don't forget, if you are Cap rising, this is happening in your 5th house of like luck. joy. The Jupiter-Uranus. And so letting go so you can fully experiencing that, but also just knowing, like, pay attention. You're all pragmatic earth signs. I get it. I respect it. I have a 10th house sun, so I really do relate to Capricorns quite a bit, and a 10th house Mars. But like music, yes. Like radio, yes. Yep. The same exact thing. The same exact thing. The same exact thing. Yep. So, that's interesting, Melissa. You know, and sometimes I actively have people saying that I'm crazy on other, in other places on the internet, which is, first of all, we should not be ever shaming anyone that's dealing with any kind of mental health journey, period, the end. Also, that's just, and that's not ever been anything. And I've gone to counseling, all of it. I've exposed myself to any place that would have diagnosed me with anything ever in my 53 years. So I hesitated for a second, and then I remembered that other people's opinions of me are none of my fucking business. So yeah, you may get a leveling up 10th house placements and Capricorn placements. Don't ignore if it feels like an extra layer to your gifts right now. Hey, I gotta be transparent, lead by example, or else what the fuck am I doing here? That's like my whole job. Not the job of maybe every single reader, but it's mine. That's part of my mission. Aquarius. It used to be opera. Okay, that's so funny. You guys are a day apart. Juan and Shauna, I want to say you guys are a day apart. So, Aquarius, you made a choice at some point about love, about a person. And this person may have said to you, you got to leave those other things behind. I'm going to be worth the sacrifice. And at that time, that version of you said, okay, right? Let's put it upright. You said, I will take this one. I'm going to leave these two behind. They're behind me. I'm not even looking. And now you and I are going to wait for the ship to come in, because this is about love. This isn't about anything else. This came out in reverse, which means you are going to get the chance to redo a decision you made about love or a person. You know, hindsight is 20/20. I'm so glad I said that out loud, because look at all of the comments saying like, oh my God, yes. Aquarius, whether this other person, I feel a demanding, I feel a somewhat, whoever this one was, I feel like they kind of said, like, you know, it's like Voldemort saying, like, from now on, you put your faith in me. You don't need any of that other stuff. They may have tried to change you, which an Aquarius will usually have like a little bit of, depends on the other placements in the moon. They may have tried to change you a little bit, whatever, but they asked you, you know, this doesn't have to be two different people or like your family and your friends to choose this person. This could have been like who you are, felt you are, you know, and they might have said, oh, you're leaving the old you. I'm going to show you a better version of you. I literally was in a relationship with a person who said to me, I'm going to change you. In 6 months, you won't even recognize yourself. You'll be so much better. And I understood that immediately. It was the beginning of the end. What did you say to me? Like, that's not nice. That's saying that you think that I'm a whole, like, I'm a whole mistake right now, right? So that, for some reason, I'm seeing that person's face, and I feel like that is maybe what you were dealing with. Like, there's a difference between upgrade you and change everything about who you are, because who you are now is tolerable, but wait till I'm done with you. That makes me laugh. No, it wasn't funny to me then. Because I was still very insecure, Suzzy. It was not good. You get a chance to recover these other two things that you lost. Now, this may just be putting your foot down in the relationship you're in now and saying, I'm not sacrificing those things anymore. We're going to move forward. We're going to be fine, right? Because you're Aquarius. You got solutions for all the problems. You really, really do. The problem is that sometimes you find people that are a little problematic. People can be attracted to you because you have the solutions to their problems, but you don't, they like the temporary external condition. Sometimes Aquarius can attract people who like just temporary external condition problem solving, and they don't want to look inward. Agreed, Juan. You get to redo this decision. Now, whether that means walking away from the other person, I mean, there's, you know, Pluto's running through your sign. The Scorpio full moon is going to square. The Jupiter Uranus just squared. So there could be changes, but they're changes and you won't have to sacrifice. It actually is funny because Scorpio squares, and it reminds me, it's giving me the same vibe as that King of Wands where I said that, like, it's not just about like your allure or your like lust or your attraction with this person. It is also like that they let you feel satiated and on fire all over in life. I feel like this is getting that back for yourself. You're going to take that back. We have an 8 of Wands for money. So money coming in fast. You know that, like, money comes to me steadily. Money comes to me fast. When money comes, money lasts, or however that goes. That's this. There's an opportunity, communication, but it'll happen fast, and money is going to come in fast. I feel like you can't be bothered with any of this bullshit when you got all this money coming in, to be honest. Yeah, you can't. Never ask a Sagittarius to be watered down, and never ask an Aquarius to not be authentically them. Never ask a Gemini to shut up. I should probably do a whole little video on that. Okay, what's the advice? That money card is nice. Nice. Okay. Third or fourth time, the Chariot. I love this card. Look at the little puppies. Okay, and she got her cold shoulder on. Yeah. Now, the puppies are not moving. She's also got wheels on her chair. So the chair moves, but this is very clearly like, let universe move you, but like stay who you are. like things can move around you almost, right? So universe is moving you, but you get to like, this is not the best Aquarius chariot sign. Universe is going to move you. But you do not have to like change all the, like, you get to be who you are in this and stay who you are. This is like the mountain comes to Muhammad kind of chariot card. If that makes any sense. If it doesn't, I apologize. I can't do anything about it. That's what I'm getting. Let's take an oracle card. What do we have up here? Okay. Oh, very interesting. Grab these. I'm going to grab these Black Lilith cards. I feel like there's a card in here that doesn't belong, but I could be wrong. Yeah, there is. All right, we're going to take that one. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. You cannot make that shit up. So this is the deck. I could immediately feel like there's a card in here that doesn't belong. Almost like Princess and the Pea. It's not the same cards. And I'm like, all right, well, we're going to take this one because obviously this was meant to be. And it says full moon in Scorpio. I'm telling you, the full moon in Scorpio is big for Aquarius. It's time to release the negativity. Yeah, it's that person who asked you to put everything behind just for them, including a little of yourself. Okay. Pisces, and then we're going to give away a reading because I'm like that. All right. I'll give away 15. You can add to it if you want. I'm going to say it out loud. It's in all of my description boxes. If you win a reading, you have to claim it within 6 weeks of winning it. Because as you can imagine, right? As you can imagine, I give away all the time. At least once a week, I'm giving away a reading. Plus, like, I donate readings. I don't really talk about that much, but I do. So, like, it gets a little overwhelming for me. It becomes like a whole other job when I'm trying to, like, give back. For me to try to keep track of who won what. And so, so you have to claim it. You have to email me. If you win, you have to email me within 6 weeks. And you have to schedule it within 3 months of the win. I feel like for a free reading, that's fair. You're also welcome to add to it. You can email me and I can send you a link. If you win, you just have to email me and be like, hi, I won. Because YouTube doesn't tell me anybody's real name and doesn't tell me anybody's email. Even if you're in membership, I don't know any of that. That's why if you join membership, there's a membership form that asks you all those pertinent questions so that you can get, and it says so all over the membership. To get your perks, you have to fill out, you have to go to the video and grab the link once you are, because once you join, you can get on the membership only videos. And the first one is the welcome to membership and has the link for everything. And that's what it says. So I'm not asking you to email me or anything else. You just have to go to click a link and then it's a 2-minute form. But anyway, so I don't know who y'all are a lot of the times. So if you win, yes, thank you, Juan. I don't know if Lee she was up late. I don't know if she's still in the chat. She seemed to have disappeared. But, yeah. I sound like I'm apologizing. I'm just saying, I feel like it's fair the way it is now. But you have to, it's in writing everywhere, but I just want to say, before we do Pisces and before we get to the winning, and if one of my lovely moderators would just put, like, you have to claim, you have to email me, let me know you won. You have to do that within 6 weeks. Then you have to schedule within 3 months while we're doing the thing. That would be great. All right, Pisces, we're going to give you Nike cards. Love, 8 of Wands. Communication is going to come in fast. Listen, Pisces, 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 I love y'all so much. Vetting. Not giving all the... Remember how I said with Aquarius, because you have solutions for every problem, sometimes problematic people will find their way to Aquarius, right? That makes sense. I call Capricorn Captain Save-A-Ho, right? Each sign, you know, will attract the kind of people that need, instead of building it for themselves, people who have a lot of shame and don't want to have accountability find their way into Scorpio's life. So they can go, oh, look at the bad guy, right? Because they expect, there's so much, like each sign has their own. With Pisces, and I literally just said this last night to somebody, no one will give more space for your past wounds in an unconditional, non-judgmental way than a Pisces. Because a Pisces loves to be championed. They love to give somebody the love that they palpably maybe needed as a child, feel as an adult, whatever that is, right? So that will attract people, will come in with their little broken bits like this and say, can you spackle these together with your unconditional, non-judgmental Piscean love, right? How about I trade in all of my most broken wounds for some of that lovely, romantic, cotton candy Piscean energy? And Pisces says, absolutely, because I wouldn't want somebody to judge where I've been or the mistakes I've made. So, yes, you don't have to prove yourself to me. You don't have to quantify. Everybody deserves love. Everybody deserves unconditional love. I will absolutely happily give that to you. That's what I do best, right? So when this person comes in, I don't think this is bad. I don't think my guides would give this to you if it was bad. But Pisces, when this comes in fast, it can be excellent. This is good. It has little leaves. It has potential for growth. What I am going to say before the advice card comes out is that while you are the goat at spackling other people's broken bits with your unconditional love, that doesn't mean for your own sense of boundaries, you have to ignore every red flag or pink flag. You know, with all that Jupiterian, Neptunian fog, sometimes the red flags look pink and Pisces go, it's okay, let it through. This is coming in and it's beautiful. But they can move fast. You don't have to move fast with them. It's beautiful. Lots of communication. This could also mean somebody coming out of silence, but I don't feel that. I feel like this is somebody coming in that's going to get so excited about you. And, you know, somebody who has dated a Pisces, I can tell you, they will stay on the phone with you for 5 or 6 hours. They will love it, right? So, hi, April. You take in strays. You know, it's okay to, like, I always say to Pisces, find yourself in some kind of, like, empathetic, no, I'm better than you counseling situation in a friendship or in a place, or volunteer someplace so you get all that out and not try to put it on the relationships. Right? We all have gifts and we all have the capability of unconditional love, but think about the Neptunian, right? It spreads so far and it puts a veil, right? Those red flags look pink. Let them through. And then we add Jupiter to it, and Jupiter just expands that. It is such a beautiful, you know, Neptune can be the higher octave of Venus. Pisces is Jupiter is in its exaltation in Pisces. Sometimes friendships, like I was just having a conversation last night. I thought I was like all good because I wasn't repeating the same old habits in love relationships. Till I realized, like, oh, I'm doing that in my friendships now. I wasn't completely done with that. Tried it on a friend, and I got burnt, right? Because I didn't apply the same boundaries. Like, we are humans having a human experience, but we are souls, right? And those souls do not have gender. Hear me out. Doesn't matter whether it's a family relationship, a friendship, or a romantic relationship. We still should have boundaries. We should have bouncers outside the exclusive club of us. And sometimes we think that's just love stuff. It's not just love stuff. It's, you know, the wounds got made. Hear me out, people. The wounds got made when you were a child. So when you were a child, it was not about romance, sexual attraction. The wound on your heart, the wound in your mind, the wound in your nervous system got made just out of a sense of love, security. You were a human. Those were your humans. That's it. So make sure those boundaries are in place, not just for love relationships. Okay, let's get the money. Let's get this money, Pisces. Yeah, 13 hours till your voice disappeared. Yeah. I used to go into work stupid happy. And my friend Kathy that worked there would be like, Jesus Christ, you didn't sleep again. Like, you look like you slept with a hanger in your mouth, but your eye bags are terrible. Right? Because, and I'm stealing the term from Lori Rivers. So let me just make sure that's clear. We were talking about stability and what people need to live off. And as a water sign and as a Pisces North Node and as somebody with 12th house placements, when I first fall in love, I become, and I love this term, a breatharian. Like, my friends would yell. The last time I like truly fell in love was like the end of 2017. And I remember like my friends, even my spiritual friends, were like, eat a fucking salad, something. And I'm like, I'm so happy. I don't need food. I don't need sleep, right? So like that is such a Piscean thing. You become like a breatharian. Who needs sleep? Who needs, right? You'll stay on the phone for like, yeah. Grown-ass man with a grown-ass job. Like, don't get off the phone yet. We were both going to work with no sleep. And then making the phone call again at night. By the way, when I was like madly in love and the Pisces person, those are not the same. That's not the same timeline. But yeah. Yeah, you love, love. Money, money, money. I love this for you. Justice. Yes. Does somebody owe you money? Are you overdue for a raise? Have you been underpaid? I sound like, do you suffer from mesothelioma? Like, I sound like a commercial for a shiesty law firm. But justice is coming in for you. Like, the scales will be evened. Uh-huh. Does somebody owe you money? Are you going to get taxes back? Was there a loophole in something you didn't know about? Are you going to get, like, you thought somebody's estate was settled, and now here's something else you didn't know they had? You got a bunch of communication. You are not going to say love for 6 weeks. That is your homework. The word love is not going to even get mentioned unless it's like, I love ice cream. And unless you want to like sing I love Rocky Road, you are not saying love to this person. Just a little commercial break, since we're doing commercials here on Pisces reading today. But if somebody owes you money, if you have been underpaid, this could be like fighting with like I'm feeling too a lot around like not so much like disability, but things like that. Like you were supposed to get some kind of compensation for something, or like something along the laws of like labor laws. Yeah. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. I said, hey, baby, I got your money. Okay. Don't get your panties in a bunch before I explain the Judgment card fully and also my relationship with it. Judgment is your advice. Now, listen. I love how this is like size inclusive, this deck. Judgment is the past, present, and future. We notice these three figures, right? So there's past, present, and future. And so that means like doing the inner child healing work, understanding that this version of you now does not need the same things that this version of you used to need, and using the lessons instead of shaming them. And I talk about this all the time, but this is what the Judgment card needs for me. Also, there can be things coming back around. Now with the Justice card and the Judgment, you have two major arcanas here. Judgment can also be something coming back around to re-experience it with a new version of you. So whether that's this or this, don't go into it with fear, right? Because we don't have to operate out of that anymore, Pisces. We don't have to operate out of Pisces. Out of fear anymore, Pisces. We don't. See how they're kind of standing and like they're, yeah. You know when they say that thing about like your life passing before your eyes? It's like watching three different versions of us then, because it's not the same. Judgment is a revisitation of things now. And so like aligning, you know, you can do a simple, this is great for Pisces, you can do a simple prompt, universe, spirits, and guides, use God, angels, care bears, whatever makes you happy. That's who you, whoever you talk to, whoever your relationship with is, that's who you say. You know, please align me with the most current healed version of myself, and please thank the old version, the unhealed version of myself, and no longer give it, please, you know, and Cat in Boots has a whole bunch of stuff like this, but this is the one that I just use in client sessions. It's kind of a mashup, but please open safe exit portals for the unhealed version of myself that I no longer need moving forward. Please no longer give that access to my decision making for people, for money, for self-esteem. And I'll align everything in my highest good for this now moment. Just thank you. That's it. There's a lot about like Marie Kondo, give it joy, give it gratitude, and let it go. All right, let's get your, and we're going to take one of these, and then we're going to give away a reading. And Cat in Boots with a K, I want to say it's 138 on TikTok. Everything doesn't always, some of the stuff I don't always align with, but 99% of the stuff I really love. But she's got amazing healings. I use that all the time. Okay. South Node. You're not going that direction anymore. It's okay to have let it inform you, but you're not going in that direction anymore. Your relationship with what you think are karmic debts seem to be a big thing for Pisces in general whenever I talk to somebody with a lot of Pisces energy. And it's really important to move out of the thought that like you're being punished in this lifetime. It'll hold you back from your gifts. It'll hold you back from a lot. It'll hold you back from like inner peace. Waiting for the next punishment to come. Oh. Do we we that hurt? Yes. We all have a transit where we'll lose a parent, or we'll lose somebody, or something gets, we have transits that are hard. Saturn transits can be rough, right? But our chart in itself, our natal chart, is not set up to punish us. I've said this before. If somebody looks at your chart online for free or whatever, and the first thing they say to you goes, oh my God, this chart is so hard, or this chart is difficult, blah, 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 blah. Run. Especially if you have Pisces energy. You're not here to be punished. Your chart was not constructed for your punishment. Ask whoever your team is to make safe exit portals for the unhealed version of you that would talk you out of anything that allows you happiness and inner peace. And I said what I said. I know that like you can feel the 5D and the 3D all at the same time, and you understand every lifetime. You understand it is what makes you a little less safe without boundaries in relationships here on this earthly plane, is because you can literally feel the joy and the suffering of almost everyone in every lifetime. And I get that. But you're not here to be punished, and you're not here to hold the weight of all of that. It is not your job to hold the weight of the suffering of this world or any other. You got somebody that's very interested coming in, and you have justice for money. You just gotta let go whatever might keep you, because when you think like that, you speak like that. And when you speak like that, you think like that. I'll say that one last time for my beautiful, beautiful Pisces. When you think like that, you speak like that. And when you speak like that, you think like that. Okay. Let's give away a reading. I'm going to use my dice. I should be using these all the time. I paid for them. It's silly to only use them once a year. As soon as the video's over, you should be able to go back to like 3 hours. I want to say 3 hours and 10 minutes. It'll be around there. Only because I'm in the thing where I'm channeling and I want my energy open to other people to guess the number. And I'm excited because we have some new people. We have some people who have not won. If you have won in the last, oh my gosh, 3 to 5 months, you can guess, but I'm going to give it to somebody who hasn't won. We started to get to the place where we wrote it down. You still have to, and if you win, you have to, I'll write it in the comments too. And plus then I want to give credit to Cat and I used to say a whole bunch of like spirit, universe, spirits and guides if it's in my highest good stuff. And then I met her, and the idea of like closing portals and opening portals and safe and all of that just changed everything. So I want to make sure she gets the credit. So I'll write it in the comments when the video is done. Okay. I'm going to take... I'm going to make this easy. I'm going to do a planet. No, I'm going to do a sign and a number. And just take a breath and connect in with me. Okay. So it's one of the signs. And a number. So it's a number from 1 to 12 because it's only... I was going to do just a number, but that's going to go so quick. So I am going to sit and put the imagery of ES. I don't know who you are. I actually don't know that handle. It was 2 and Sagittarius. Where'd it go? It was 2. 1000%. It was 2 and Sag. That was so quick. I thought that would take a minute. Like here I am like, oh, let me get comfy. So ES, especially because I don't know who you are, to claim the reading, you're going to have to go to, Emily, can you, yeah, there's the website where it says Lee and the little sunset. You're going to click on the website and go to the contact. Well, welcome. That was impressive. So you're going to go to the contact and just be like, hi, this is my email. I won. And then I will send you a gift certificate. If you want to add to it, actually, I'm still running the sale for 4 days. So there's like discounted. That was impressive. Hi, Moanne. Blue. I love you. I'm thinking it's going to take forever for somebody to get that combination. I'm taking my glasses off and was going to sit and visualize. Hi, Tina. I love you back. Thank you. And welcome to the community. It's a lovely bunch here. We didn't have to put anyone in the dunce box today. We have a dunce box sticker now because y'all act up, and I live for it. I'm here for the shenanigans. I am, you know, creating a supportive environment for shenanigans. Yeah, this is just called 3-day hair, girl. It just, after a while, it just gets more and more 80s. I have 2 clients. That was the other reason that I didn't want to go back too much. I have one in literally 5 minutes, and then I have another one right after. If anything happens with either of them, though, I can contact you. Now, if I wanted to cook dinner, I don't have time. Yes, and thank you to the moderators. I really appreciate you guys. Honey, jump in that. You know where my scheduler is that you can get in. I'll take the restraints off of, like the time restraints off of it to see if you can get in for tomorrow. Hug and a cupcake to all of you. Happy Taurus season. Thank you for listening to all. Like, you never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I hope it's always helpful. I hope it hits home. Sharing is caring. We've gotten a lot of growth on the channel. There are so many readers I love, and also I feel like we have something just like a little different here, so sharing it is really helpful. All right, I love you, now you love you. Bye everyone. ES, make sure you email me or go to the website and hit contact. All right, bye.